I'm guessing when people come for the first time to my channel, they think that eating healthy means you cook bread for 3 straight days. Or you're cooking up dishes that take many hours to produce. But in reality, I'm very busy just like all of you, and a lot of times my meals don't look like that at all. I am a busy law student and a mom of 2, pregnant with my 3rd, and I'm just trying to produce a meal in 15 minutes. That's what a healthy home cook is. Still not choosing fast food when you're tired and busy to put food on the table. I'm going to be showing you my top 15 healthy meals recipes. Those dishes are very customizable. Let's get into the recipes. The first recipe we're making is a 15-minute pasta with a quick tomato sauce. Add water to a pot and bring it to a boil. Next, I'll get a pan preheating on low heat. I'm going to dice up an onion nice and thin so it cooks quickly and dump in a good amount of high-quality olive oil. I'll throw the onions into the pan to saute them a bit, only for a couple of minutes, and in the meantime, slice up some garlic. I find slicing is more comfortable. It also protects it from burning and it activates the allicin better, which has anti-inflammatory benefits. I'm just sweating the onions and garlic without getting too much color, just a few minutes and they are ready. Now I'll dump in these tomatoes, cutting them into a few pieces to speed up the cooking. I'll put a lid on so they break down. You notice I did not break the pasta, which is ideal. It will eventually all get in the water. I hope the Italians are proud of me. I'll chop up some cilantro and grate some cheese. Ideally you'd use Parmesan, but I'll use Gouda because this is what I have. The tomatoes look amazing. I'll use a spatula because it is the only tool that I have on hand to mash them now. I'm honest with you, that took no time and looks pretty good. It's sweet and a bit garlicky and so creamy. The pasta is al dente after about 9 minutes. It comes together so easily. We add the pasta right into the sauce with a little pasta water to combine evenly. We want the noodles to mix well with that sauce and create creaminess with the starch. We'll add the cheese and finally at the end the fresh herbs. That tomato sauce is loaded with depth of flavor and you didn't need a store-bought jar that would have cost you at least 5 times the price of the tomatoes. This is so much better than the sauce you buy at a store. Next, I wanted to hit multiple cuisines, so let's go a bit into the Middle East to make a homemade hummus. I'll start by adding the canned chickpeas into a bowl with warm water. If you have the time, feel free to cook dry ones, but in order to be ready within 15 minutes with the prep, I'll use this. You can be even faster with a blender. It would normally take me about 5 minutes to make it, but we don't have one now at the current home we live in, and so I'll improvise by mashing them. I like to peel the skin off, which I find optional if you have a blender. In order to be fast, I'll just do it with my hands. The warm water helps peel those skins off so quickly. Once I remove them, I use a fork to mash them. A stone grinder can be helpful, just like the old ways of making it, but a fork or even a garlic mincer does a great job. Minimalism can make you quite creative, which is funny. But anyway, now add some salt, mince a clove of garlic, add the juice from half a lemon and lots of tahini. This is the way we love it, not too garlicky or too sour. Adjust it based on your taste. Ideally we serve this with homemade pita bread. I have some leftovers to use, but to make it ready within 15 minutes, we'll serve it with carrots and cucumbers. I'll also add some homemade pickles. The ones at the store have sugar and I just find it so unnecessary. I have some olives, so I'll add those on the side. We do love to serve hummus with lots of olive oil. I'll garnish with a bit of paprika, and here you have a very easy high protein dinner alternative. This last 15-minute meal is by far my laziest, and I say that because every home cook needs a lazy go-to. I can cook more to have leftovers for tomorrow, and it's pretty easy to keep it fresh for days. The only effort is chopping the veggies, but if you have a special tool, that will cut the time at least in half. Start with some broccoli. I cut the florets first, then slice the hard part, about half of which is just as good as asparagus. The bigger ones I cut in half so they cook evenly. Then add them to the pan. I'll make it oil-free because during Lent most weekdays are no oil. You can saute with water or feel free to use olive oil. I'll slice some red onion that I add right on top. Some mushrooms would be delicious, but we'll skip those as I don't have any for now. I'll peel a carrot, cut it into thin layers layers and add them to the pan. Another really good ingredient is red pepper. It brings sweetness and crunch. I'll add it right on top of the other veggies. The beauty of this recipe is that it's very customizable. You can also use leftovers. About half a zucchini is good. I want it very thin to cook through fast. I keep the seasoning simple. Some salt is enough for now. Spinach is a very nice addition. I had some leftover. During pregnancy it is ideal because it has high folic acid. And another optional but very recommended ingredient is walnut. They bring fat and crunch and they are so healthy. I'll roughly chop some. I'll go for half a cup. I'll give it a stir, then add some protein. White beans are a really nice combo, but feel free to use what you have. Chickpeas or even lentils. I'll use a can to fit those 15 minutes, but if you've got the time, feel free to cook dry ones. We'll finally chop lots of dill and cilantro because these herbs can really enhance the dish. To beautifully melt all these flavors, we'll squeeze half a very ripe lemon. These dishes require minimal tools and the cleaning is ready in minutes too. Ideally, when we want to cook a 15-minute dish, it's nice when the cleaning is under 5 minutes. If you have a little more time than 15 minutes and want to see how I manage my metabolic health, you have to watch this video where I show 8 recipes of what I eat in a week to stay sugar-free and energized.